Hi everyone, welcome again to another stream. I hope today is better. So I uploaded what I did yesterday on YouTube and just put it on my Twitter. Slightly tensed. Um, I've seen guys share their response or experience on YouTube, especially the comments. How guys can be very, I don't want to say unfair, very opinionated. So I'm just swinging it. Let's hope how it goes. It's all about good vibes here. So today, let me see, am I sharing my right screen? Good. So today, sorry about the cough. So today I will be tackling day what? Day 5. Yes, day 5. Now, before I go to day 5, a few things I wanted to just show guys here. So I have already started my machine. I think there is a button that appears here, start attack something. So I already started it. I think I clicked on a start machine initially. I I believe it was starting. Then after doing that, I came and clicked the icon that is there, not the show split screen. So when you click it, it loads something similar to this. So if your machine is just starting up, it will show you that the machine is booting and all that. Then after it boots successfully, this is the interface it gives you. First time I did this, I didn't get this interface, so I was already connected on VPN. So I was like, let me just use a VPN. Now, given that it's not there, if you don't want to use it, there is an icon right here to exit split view. So I just exited the split view. If you need to use it again, come right there, show split view. There you have it. I don't need it, so we move on. So which day is this? So day 5. So day 5 is dealing with actually all of these are dealing with the web exploitation. Huh. So day 5 is dealing with the XSS. So first time I saw XSS I was like, God, it's one of those things that really scares me because I usually assume that it's hard. But the way the content has been laid out, the walkthrough are very straightforward. So we introduced to DOM, introduced what DOM XSS is, reflected XSS, then stored XSS, then blind XSS. So the good thing, let me tell you what I captured or what I remember. So blind is still, I guess, stored XSS. It's similar. So the only thing with blind is that with blind XSS, you don't see those alerts, you don't see those prompts. They will be shown to the backend users. Let me use the backend users who access the system. Stored is usually XSS. The payload is the payload persists throughout that experience or interaction because it will probably be stored in a database on a file somewhere, so that if anyone accesses that particular endpoint, they trigger that particular XSS or that particular cross-site scripting. Then DOM. So I guess for DOM, what I got from here is when you load window local location.hash to load something. Sorry, I probably didn't get. I feel I got it right. I'm just having a hard time explaining it, which my analyst will actually tell me that, look, if you're having a hard time explaining it, then there's a high chance you really didn't understand it, which actually might be true. And I can feel my heart just cringing, like, did you just admit to people that you probably didn't pay attention? Yeah, but I'll definitely go back to this and just try to ensure uh, I really understand the main difference between DOM and are reflected. Okay, let me see if I get reflected. So reflected XSS happens when a user supply data is included in the web page source without any validation. An example of this could be error message, which is in a query string of a URL that is reflected onto the web page. I guess I was so the typical when you say alert, then you point it to have it load a cookie or someone's cookie. I'm guessing that is DOM. So I'm just wondering, how do I get reflected this? Look, if you can do a better job and explain reflected and DOM, the difference, please. I'll probably post this on Twitter and my YouTube channel. Wow, I have a YouTube channel. So if you can have if you have a better way of explaining it, I probably pick it up. Please drop in your comment, and you'll be saving a brother out. So going to the challenge, so the challenge requires us to access this IP. So I'll just load this straight on the browser. So the beauty, I guess the beauty with the whole system is that the moment you load the VirtualBox, the attack machine, and the moment you load your VPN connected, you actually get the right IP that you should be connecting to. I think it's a good feature. It's very user friendly. So to the UI UX product manager for this. So for this particular challenge, the Grinch, it's interesting how where I come from. So I'm based in Kenya, which is in Africa, and where I come from, we don't have Grinch. I think we have the concept of Father Christmas and Santa from watching Coke adverts, Coke commercials. So I think that's where that whole Santa thing came from, and that whole culture since way back. But Grinch, not really. Though I guess from a cultural point of view, we do have our own native Grinch. Let's go back to this. So the aim for this was to reset the user to use XSS. I guess in this case it will be actually stored or blind. Interesting. Is that stored or blind? Or both? Because with stored, it's stored in the database, which this is, if I'm not mistaken. But it's also blind, at least in my opinion, it's also blind because you don't see that, at least from where I'm coming from, I'm not seeing that screaming alert XSS. So I'm guessing maybe it's both, not really sure. So we are meant to use XSS to get the password of the Grinch. And we're actually meant to use XSS to reset their password, because if this is stored, if they access that particular URL or that particular endpoint, the XSS gets triggered, or it detonates and actualizes the payload. So we are first requested to change our password. So I'll go to settings, type something like pass. I usually suffer from this thing where I type random password, like random, then I totally forget what I typed. Then when you're asked to do what, when you're asked to retype your password, hello, like you're like, huh? What did I just type? Anyway, so random thing is here. I click update. We are meant to look at this URL here, specifically this section here. Then going right there, we actually meant to create our payload. Let me see. So this comment, so this was reflected. So here was reflected. I think they do a very good job of explaining the reflectedness. Because you type hello world. Come on. It's meant to be a tutorial. Let's type it, Lawrence. Stop being lazy. So okay. Here you guys. I'm not going to be lazy. So I type. So is this reflected? Let me see. So once your comment, this means the comment is reflected as you wrote it without the underline. Okay. I'm just confusing myself more. So what this basically means is that if this endpoint is vulnerable to XSS, these two tags here are HTML. I think we can go ahead and say underline. I don't know. Okay, I know. What if we do h3 and close with h3? So h3 is a heading tag, just makes things appear big. So if this works as expected, hello world should be underlined and have a bigger font. So let's see. Okay, yes, here I was looking at this guy, not this one. So yes, we can see it's underlined and it has a bigger font. So vulnerable endpoint. This is actually a very interesting and easy way to test for XSS. I never thought of it. I'll probably try using it in my blue teaming activities when you do these threat hunting kind of activities. So that is done. Then what are we meant to do? So using the URL we found earlier for changing the user password, let's try the following payload. So the payload we are just doing is changing the password. I'll see if I can explain this. So we go back to our endpoint here. We say the password. So to explain this, the reason why we are only using, let me increase this. So the reason why we are not typing the full URL, so the full URL might look like something like this. So the reason why we are not doing this and going with this approach is that the form should ideally populate this with the full URL. This is similar to just giving it a relative URL. If I had time, I believe this should ideally work. This should ideally work. Okay, how we can actually test if that is going to work. Let's go to settings. Let's change our password. So after we change, I'm going to copy everything here. So I've just copied all of this. Go to our forums. So excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. Do this. The password should be pass123. Let's confirm. So we make it a script. Forgive me guys. So I will do this. After I've done that, I copy this guy and replace it here. Okay, so fingers crossed this should work. Now if this works, what this basically means that every user who accesses this particular comment or who goes to the forum, views the comment, their password will be reset. And I believe this has also been documented somewhere in this guide. Now how do you know this is working? If we do an F12, then come to inspector, pick element and just hover here. It's highlighted. Hover on this, so select this little guy over here on my left. Select the column. It becomes highlighted. I expand it and we should be able to see our script. So we see the script has not been sanitized. Nothing has been escaped, so more or less it should have executed. It should have executed. Ideally, in most systems, it will not work because either a WAF or depending with the logic, they will do away with any special any forward slash. They will look for specific keyword like script and just defang them. By defanging, you basically make it, you make that particular attack not what? I don't want to say not lethal. You basically make it not work by ensuring that the parts that are responsible for making it malicious become unmalicious, I guess, or not malicious. It's like what? It's in a production environment, this script will have a vaccine or will be vaccinated. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, I know what I'm saying. Uh, so the point here is, in an ideal environment, production environment, this script tag here either will trigger our web application firewall, which will stop this script from executing, or in other websites, they will actually look for any tags that have script and basically replace them with as something else that is non-malicious. When you do that, you end up with fetch only, in which case the website sees this as a request or code that is incomplete, and it doesn't execute the malicious payload or the malicious code. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, that being done, theoretically, if the Grinch accesses this site, and we've been told that he's keeping tags, he's accessing this site. So if he accesses this site, goes to that page, his password should be reset to pass 1 to 3. So let's go there. We log out and log in again as this Christmas guy, this guy right here. So fingers crossed everything works out. Yep. And I'm in guys, I'm in. Moving on to phase 2. We want to shut down the firewall. So we are meant to disable the plugin, a malicious plugin. I had already disabled it, but once you're able to log in, you get the flag. And after getting the flag, paste it here, and you are done with day 3. Feedback and review. XSS, they do a very good job just landing you in softly. They don't throw you in the deep diver, but at least they give you enough information just to let you know what XSS is all about, and give you the right foundational information for you to dig more, understand more. So in my case, at least I know stored, I know blind, I think I know DOM, and I think I don't know reflected very well, but I have enough information to just build on that. Now, given that I try as much as possible to like myself. Most of the time, actually like myself. I think I'm a pretty likable person. Let's try set the Grinch password to a different password. So we log in as this guy. Okay, pass 1 to 3. So maybe Max Kiddy also accessed the machine. Yes, he did access the machine, and he had his password also reset. So this is stored and also blind. Let's try change this to a different password. See how that works. So guys, I do not recommend you sharing your clipboard, because at times the tool you might be using, you might have copied a password, and that password is still on the clipboard. So the gods were with me today, so my clipboard did not have any sensitive information, but just for a minute I was like, shit, She'll reduce swearing. But for a minute, I was like, Lawrence, what have you done? What have you done? Now, are you going to write an incident to say that you leaked your passwords, data breach, and everything? But unfortunately for me, the ghost on my side. So I'm just going to see if I can use that same approach, change password from pass1 to 3 to hacker1 underscore 3. Seems to have worked. Then with that, we log out, wait for a minute or so. We want to log in as Grinch, so it should be a minute. So as I keep saying, so as someone coming from a blue team point of view, blue team perspective and context, this is really just helping me get this additional information, additional insight. It's a very good learning experience, especially if you are coming from blue team perspective. We don't really get this opportunity often, where you're just given enough to tickle your fancy, enough to help you build on top of that, and maybe dig deeper into this. So let's try our password. It didn't work. Maybe my minute had not lapsed. So we wait. As we wait, let me confirm I have the right username. So Grinch. Okay, it looks okay. So I was saying, so from blue team, this is invaluable. Like, really helps you just improve your game. So anyone in blue team out there, highly recommend, and I can't insist this more. If you get an opportunity to do these challenges, by all means do them. Practice, just improve your game, improve your abilities, and improve your competencies. So I'll try this one more time. Look, it's not working. Probably something I did wrong, or I'm being impatient. That might be due to the fact that this video is already 22 minutes. I wanted it to be less than that. Anyway, I hope, guys, you have learned something. I hope this was insightful for someone out there. Till then, see you in the next video. Take care, be safe, and is it too early to say Merry Christmas? Till then, guys, bye for now.